What if I told you that in the next 10 minutes, you'll have a fully functional website? No coding, no hiring, no experience needed, just you and AI? Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you. But here's the catch. There's one step most people skip, and it's the difference between a site that works and one that actually sells. Miss it, and your site's dead on arrival. So stay with me till the end because I'm not just showing you how to build it. I'm going to show you how to make it work like magic. Let's go. So let's dig in, and I'm going to show you how you can use it. If you go to relume.io, you're going to be able to go down to the right-hand side here, and you're going to find the AI site builder. The first thing it's going to ask you to do is to describe the company or describe what you're trying to build as a website. So, No Code is an online school for entrepreneurs to launch their startup with no-code tools. If I just input this, I'm basically going to be able to click on this Generate button over here, and then in less than 1 second, as you can see here, it's basically going to just create a sitemap. So what's a sitemap? Well, a sitemap is basically an outline of what the website is going to look like. What are the different pages that we're going to have? What are the different sections on that page? And how do each one connect to each other? In a matter of just a couple of seconds, this generated a first one. I can also ask it to generate additional pages underneath it and come here and just put generate. It's going to go ahead and build those out. So you see, this is actually live. You can see how quickly this AI actually works. And what you'll notice below actually is that it even determines which sections you might want as additional pages. So here it's given me an About section, a Courses section, a blog, a contact, form, and of course, all of these are adaptable. Now what I would do is go to these individual sections down here and actually generate them. About, boom, I can just do that. Here it's the navigation bar. Perfect. There's going to be a hero section, a feature section, right? Maybe I want to take this one over here. You can right-click and just delete it. Maybe. I want to take the benefits section and put it above the hero. Then I want the benefits in a feature list. Then there's a How It Works section here. I actually don't need this section because we're just going to be featuring the courses. So I'll delete this, and then I can do this for all the other sections as well if I want, by just going below and adapting these. This is already absolutely amazing that it's just done this automatically without asking me too much. I can adapt every single prompt that I want here. The next thing I would do is, if I was building this $10,000 website for a client, I'd actually just copy the link, share it to that individual, and then we could have a conversation around, you know what? We actually don't need this page. We actually need an additional page. Now, once we've agreed on the basics of the sitemap, what we want to do is build out a wireframe. For those of you who don't know what a wireframe is, it's basically a full structure of what the website will look like without having all of the elements in it. And this is where this tool gets incredibly powerful. By just clicking wireframe up here, it's going to translate everything that we've just created as a sitemap into an actual wireframe with different sections, but not. Only that it's writing out the copy for us. Launch your startup with no code at We Are No Code, right? And here it's already creating the different sections. Discover the benefits of enrolling in our no-code startup school, right? Each one of these sections we can basically ask to rewrite, we can change the tone of it, and this is basically the entire structure of your website already built out. Now just to be clear, this would usually take weeks to do, and it actually looks pretty darn good. If I kind of go into this and look at the different sections now, what's so cool is that I can grab a section, and I have the choice to change what kind of section it is. Here I could just come in here and check out the different layouts you could visualize. As you can see here, by changing a couple different things, with a header, without a header, 4 columns instead of 3. We could replace the component as well if we wanted to. You're basically building out this entire wireframe, and you can really just determine what you're looking for here. So there are so many different sections to choose from, and let's say that I like this one. Okay, I'm going to click on that. It's going to auto-generate this, rewrite all of the copy, create all of the things. It's really doing a great job at all this. And again, go through each one of the different sections and just adapt it as you wish. So let's say, oh, It's this section. It's cool. I like this. But actually, I want this testimonial to look a little different. I want to feature 3 different individuals. I also want to have their pictures here. Boom, I'm going to select this one. And I want to put their star system review as well. And as you can see, it's basically building this whole thing out in a matter of seconds with AI. Once you're done tweaking all of this again, you can come here and you can share this. Grab your link. Send it to the person that you're building this $10,000 website for, and you might think that we're done here, but the next thing I'm going to do is going to blow you away as well. Now let's say that you want to take this and actually turn it into a design. Well, all you have to do is come up here and click Export to Figma, and you'll see it's copied the Figma export link to your clipboard. Now, the first thing you're going to do is install the Relume plugin. Once you have that plugin, you're going to be able to come up here, click on Plugins, go to Relume, and click Paste from Clipboard. And as you can see, it's going to paste the entire project and build it out. Now I sped this up a little bit, but you'll see in about 30 seconds, it's going to actually paste the entire wireframe into Figma with everything organized properly, with auto layout, etc., and it looks really great. It also generates a mobile version so that you can test that your site is fully responsive, which is amazing. And then we can come into the style guide and adapt the global design. So for example, I want my buttons to have a different color. Well, I can just change that color here. And as you can see, it's going to change it throughout the entire website. Maybe I want to use a different font. It's going to change it throughout the entire website. Maybe I want my font to be bigger. It's going to change everything throughout the entire website. So this is such a powerful system, especially if you're a designer and you want to use a proper design. System informed now. If you don't want to go through the design phase and want to go straight into development, you can also go ahead and click on Export to Webflow. Copy that to your clipboard and then go into Webflow. Click on Paste from Clipboard, and it's going to literally build out the entire site. Now obviously here I sped it up a little bit, but as you can see, it's building out the entire site in Webflow. Now we're in Webflow, and this is where we can basically customize everything. So maybe I want to change this to a different image. I can do that here. Maybe I want to add a logo to the top left. I can do that here. Maybe I want to replace this entire section. I can do that as well. You can basically come into Webflow and customize everything as you wish. And what's great is that it's already responsive. So if I want to check out the mobile version, I can just come here and check out what that looks like. I can check out the tablet version and what that looks like. And this is already a live website. You can just hit publish and it's good to go. Now at this point, you already have a super professional website. But if you want to take it to the next level and really give it that $10,000 feel, you're going to want to add some 3D visuals. And that's where this final tool comes in. It's called Streamline, is that it allows you to integrate 3D visuals and animation into your websites very, very easily. And here's just a couple of examples of what that might look like. You can add mockups like this. This is all spline. You can add little characters that are moving around. You can also do things like have them move on, scroll, and move with the mouse. You can do cool effects like these screens here. They're actually looping through different images. There's a billion different examples of what you can do here, and I highly recommend that you go and check it out because this is the kind of stuff that you can build in a matter of hours. Then we've got all these sections underneath it, and it's really easy to add new sections and delete any that you don't need. So the first thing I'm going to do is we can choose a color palette right over here. So this is really cool. It's just a really clever way to keep your colors in check so that you're never going too far out of bounds. Because if you're not a designer, it's very easy to get caught up in what colors work well together and adding too many colors, and then it becomes kind of a circus. I think the color schemes they've got here are great. Maybe I like this one the most. It's kind of got a nice red in there. So then once we've chosen that, if we scroll down, we'll see kind of this color scheme in action. And you've got the read down here, and it just keeps track of all the colors so we can use them wherever we need to. So once you've picked out your color scheme you want to go with, just click on Continue. Okay, so now we're inside of the website editor. The first thing we want to do while we're still waiting for all of our website copy is to probably change our logo up here. So you could just go ahead and keep a simple text-based logo if you want. Nothing wrong with that. If you did want to do that, you would just click on text, and then you can change the font of that, you know? all these Google fonts you have at your disposal, so you could just choose something that looks good. Well, I think we can do a little bit better and actually use ChatGPT's new image generation capabilities to make a really cool logo in just a few seconds. So let's go ahead in ChatGPT, making sure that we have ChatGPT 4.0 selected. That's the good image generation model. I'm just going to type in this general prompt. Make a logo for my dog walking business called The Goodest Boy. Make it a transparent PNG file. It's going to make sure that there's no background color, so you can just lay it on top of any color and you're good to go. And then I'm saying make it horizontal for website use, because what you don't want is a logo that's tall, because that doesn't look good in a space like this, right? You want it to be longer than it is tall. So that's why we said that. So let's go ahead and let that run. Okay, so it took 13 seconds, and this is what we've got. I think it looks pretty good, but if for whatever reason you didn't like it, all you have to do is tell it what you want it to change and just go back and forth with it, and you'll get it. So I would just click on the download button to download it. And then going back to our page, I'm just going to click on the logo. We're going to click on image because we want to upload an image. So I'll click on replace and then upload files. Just going to choose that here and then select. Looks pretty good. You can change the size of it too, just with this little slider. It's really nice. What we don't want is something like this. It's just too much space on top. So we want it to be more like in this range here. All right? Looking good? Think we can move on? So let's check on our website copy now. Okay, so here's what we've got. It's got all this research first. It's leading with just telling us like what it found in terms of what's going to work best for your industry on your homepage. You know, it tells us all the sites that it analyzed. Then we've got all these voice of customer phrases, right? Real things that real people have said that you can use on your website to kind of make it more powerful. So that's great. And then we're just going to keep going down until we get to the actual website copy here. So we have 2 headline options, which is what we asked it for. So here, everything under here is our actual copy. So that just means the text of your website, so not everybody knows that term. So learning something new. So this is meant to be our headline for our website. So I'm just going to copy that, and then I'm going to highlight this text right here and then edit text, and then I am just going to paste it in. But one thing I do want to show you too is, what if you don't really like the fonts here? What if you want to try something different? Well, all we need to do is go over here on the side panel to where it says Website Styles. Now, if we go over to Fonts, we can see all of these combinations. What we're looking at here is a headline, and then this is what the paragraph text looks like. So all you got to do is really just find a style that you like. I think I like this DM serif display. I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to click on Reset. Cool. And then if you scroll down, you can see. I'm just going to close out of here. If you scroll down, you can see it made that change all the way across the board. All the fonts are different. So I think this looks nice. Okay, so we've replaced the headline. We need to replace the subheadline. We'll go back to our document. So this is our subheadline right here. We'll just click on the text, edit text, and then we're just going to paste it in. And if it goes in as black, then all you need to do is just change the color here to white so it looks right. So sometimes when you copy and paste stuff over from ChatGPT, that'll happen, but it's easy to change the color back. Now underneath that, we have 2 buttons. Now I don't recommend, if you want a really highly converting homepage, to have 2 buttons here. I think having the one is best. So I'm going to right-click on Learn, and I'm going to click on Delete just to get rid of it. And I also don't like the text here of just book. That's really vague. So what we've got here is something better. It says, book your free trial walk. Much more descriptive. So we're just going to click on the button, Edit button, and we're going to paste in our new text. And then you can see there's some issues happening here. It's not big enough. So all we got to do is just kind of drag it to where it looks good. Then see how it's not centered? Really easy. We just drag it until we get that little line in the middle. Now it is centered. So everything is super customizable here. I love it. But what if we don't want that button to look quite so transparent? What if we want it to be a little more colorful, which I highly recommend for your call to action button? I'm going to click on Edit again, and then we're going to go to Style, and then for Fill Color, I'm going to choose our red. So remember what I said about how choosing that color scheme keeps everything nice and consistent for you. This is what I'm talking about. And there it is, a complete website, built without writing a single line of code, powered entirely by AI. But here's the thing, this is just the beginning. The real magic. It happens when you know how to use AI smarter than 99% of people. And that's exactly what I'm showing in the next video. how to make your site actually convert visitors into customers using AI. So if you're serious about standing out online, don't stop here. Hit subscribe and I'll meet you in the next video where we turn your site into a revenue machine. And hey, you saw how easy this was. Now imagine what you can do next.